Ashley.
Hi.
Thank you for coming in again. How has your day been so far?
It's been going pretty well. I worked this morning, which was fine. We had like a potluck for one of my coworkers, so that was kind of fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. So just a normal day.
Yeah, working and I was with Aiden this morning. Made him breakfast and then left him with my grandma. So yeah, normal day.
Okay. That's good. Well, thanks for coming back. I'm really glad you decided to come in again. Thank you. So how has your past week been? A lot can happen in a week, so.
Yeah. Not too bad, I guess. Still still not sleeping very well. And still trying to figure out, I guess, how to get Aiden to see his dad without my grandma. Yeah, just without my grandma being mad, I guess. And I wish I could talk to my mom about that, but because I think she might have some experience with it, but I just don't know how that would look. She's just not around very much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So Aiden still hasn't seen Joey since we moved out, which I'm just feeling sort of bad about, I guess. I just feel like he should see him. I didn't really see my dad growing up after my parents got divorced, and I think I missed out on something, and so I don't want that for Aiden. But it's just a really complicated situation that I don't know what I can do. I just feel completely helpless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're not sleeping well. You want Aiden to see his dad, and you also wish that you could talk to your mom about these things. So, all of that being said, how can I best help you this session?
I don't know. I guess thinking about. I just don't know what to do or even how to do it. Sometimes I just don't feel like I'm being a very good mom or I guess daughter or granddaughter or anything. If I just am not feeling the same. This has just all been just extremely overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what to do. I feel really lost. So I just need some help figuring out what to do, I guess, and how to feel better, what to do. I want to move out. I maybe want a new job, but I just don't know how to go about doing that.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing a lot is that you're feeling helpless. The past session, I was thinking a lot about how you said you were feeling like you were stuck. You were feeling hopeless, and I'm just that's really hard and difficult, and I'm so sorry that you're feeling those things.
Yeah, it's just not been easy to be a good parent. I want to be a good mom because my mom wasn't always there, and I told you that. And so I just don't want to be like that, but it's hard when I'm trying to figure it out as I go. And because I'm alone in doing it. Besides my grandma and my mom. So yeah.
Yeah. It's feeling alone in this, and there's so much change that you're going through. You don't like your job, your living situation, your situation with Joey, and it's normal to feel like you're stuck and hopeless with all of those things going on. That makes sense. But I know it's not easy for you.
It's not, it's just been really, it's hard to figure it out, to be the only parent. I want Joey to be involved, but I don't know how that would look, and I don't want to do it by myself, but I feel like I have to right now, and so I'm just kind of figuring what that looks like. And I just don't feel very well. I feel like I can't do things that I like to do and that I used to do because of that. And I don't always want to do them either, but I guess that's just how I'm feeling.
So, you said you don't want to do things, and I'm really concerned about that. That's a big change and a big difference. What has changed in you not wanting to do things?
I don't know, I rather would be at home with Aiden because I feel bad for leaving him there, and I guess, I just feel bad. I feel guilty for leaving him home with my grandmother so much, and so I don't even I just don't think about doing those things, and so it just makes me not want to. Like if someone called me up or some coworkers and I used to go out, and I just don't want to do that. It was easier, I think, when I was with Joey because I would at least be leaving him with Joey. And so I felt better about that because that was his dad. But I just don't want to leave him with my grandmother when I'm the only parent, and I feel like I should be there. So I just feel guilty about it.
So you feel guilty leaving your son at home, and you want to be there.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense that you want to be there for your son, and like I said before, you're an amazing mom for wanting that. Just going through all the things that we've been talking about in first session, second session, and now this session, it's really been brought to my attention, and I don't want you to feel like I'm labeling you or that I don't ever do this. I do this with all of my clients, so I just want to bring it to your attention what I've been thinking. So all of the things that you've been saying have made me think that you have symptoms of depression. What's your first reaction when I say that?
I guess it's possible. I don't know what all goes into that, I guess. But I think my mom was probably depressed too, but she never really looked into seeing anyone or taking any medication. But I guess it doesn't surprise me because of those circumstances that are similar to my mom's, and it's just been a really hard time. So I guess if that's what it is, what can happen from that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you have a diagnosis of depression, then having that diagnosis can help us further your treatment. So once you're, say, labeled with it, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing in my view, because then we can possibly get you medication that can help you. If you're not comfortable with that, there are other things we can do to help with your symptoms of depression. So there's things like continuing your treatment with me. There's depression clinics and different advice that I can give you based on the symptoms that I'm seeing. Yeah. Do you have any more questions about that?
No, I guess not. I guess I'm wondering, like, if, like, can I get over this, or like, can I, like, is this, do you think that this has been sort of inhibiting me, or like, sort of been a barrier for me in doing things that I want to do, or like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I'm glad you're being really insightful about this. That's good that you're open to it. And you know yourself more than I do, more than anyone does, so just take my opinion with a grain of salt, I guess. But I do think that you feeling helpless, guilty, stuck, all things that you have said are possibly creating barriers for you to do what you normally would want to do. Like you said, you're not going out with your friends, and it's affecting your sleep. And I think if we work together in addressing your feelings of hopelessness and things like that, that can be a stepping stone in helping you to feel better and feeling like you can do things, go out, and also making steps to better your future, like you've been wanting to move out and things like that.
So you think I could move out if I felt better?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's a lot that goes into moving out, and I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but if you feel better, then it's anything's possible. And I think you are the biggest change agent in yourself, and like I can tell you things, but it's us working together and like collaborating. So yeah. And if you have any more questions, feel free to bring them up whenever.
I don't have any right now. Yeah, besides, I guess, what happens now? Like, where do we go from here?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, what I was thinking we could do, we could first explore some of the things that I've been like some of the symptoms that I've been noticing.
Okay.
And then I was thinking we could do, it's called cognitive behavioral therapy. So with that, it's the idea that your thoughts affect your behaviors.
Okay.
So the thinking is, if I have a thought that, let's use a different experience, like I'm trying to think of a thought, that say I'm a child and I think that my parents hate me, and I have this thought, my parents hate me and they think I'm worthless. So then my behavior is I sit on the couch all day, I don't do anything, and I slouch. So I could just, first of all, do you see a connection between thoughts and behaviors?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So if you see a connection between thoughts and behaviors, then the idea is that if you can change the beginning of thought, it will change your behavior. Yeah. Any questions with that?
No, I think that makes sense. So
Yeah.
if I think, so I guess sometimes the things you think aren't always true. Is that how it kind of goes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In it, as we're going through it, I can help you explain the theory behind it, I guess. Yeah. But first, this is a lot. Like I just told you, I think you have symptoms of depression. Like this is a lot going at you. So let's just take a breath. Okay, let's just okay, next step. So let's talk about your sleep. So you said that you've repeated a lot that you've been having issues with your sleep. Can you just talk more about that?
Yeah, so I haven't been, I guess when I go to bed I just think of so many things, and so I'm tired, but I just can't fall asleep. And so day, like all day long, I'm just really tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I haven't slept very well since I moved back in, or since we moved back in with my grandma and mom.
Mm-hmm. So the sleeping has changed since you moved back in with your mom. Okay. And just so I know, how many hours of sleep would you say you're getting a night?
Probably like 2 or 3, maybe 4 some nights. Like I try to put Aiden down at like 8 or so, but he wakes up maybe once around like 11. So I try to stay up until then, just so that I don't have to fall asleep and then wake up again. So and he's pretty like that happens almost every night. So yeah, I will stay up until then. So I'll go to bed maybe around midnight, and then I'll maybe be able to fall asleep at like 1 for a few hours. But it takes a long time for me to fall asleep, and I wake up a lot like in those hours sometimes. And then I have to be up by like 5:36 anyway, because like I get Aiden up and like get him breakfast and get him dressed, and before I go to work, and so I have to be at work by like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So that's just kind of like my morning, and I just don't get very much sleep because of it, I guess.
Yeah. That must be not enough sleep.
No, it's not. I just feel really tired during the day, but then I just think like, oh, I'll be able to fall asleep when I'm tired, but I still can't fall asleep. I don't know why.
Are there any particular thoughts going through your head as you're trying to fall asleep?
Well, sometimes like worried about what happened during the day, or thinking about what happened during the day, or thinking about things that I want to do, and just trying to figure out like what to do. So like when a couple weeks ago when Joey tried to call and wanted to see Aiden, like that was going through my mind because I didn't bring him there because my grandma. So just like thinking about those sorts of things, I guess. Yeah. And my mom too, she works a lot, so she'll come home really late. So if I go to sleep, sometimes like she'll sort of like wake me up by just like coming in the house. So yeah, it's just not a very good environment.
Yeah. It sounds kind of like it's a light sleep even when you do get to sleep.
Yeah, because I wake up really easily, and I don't know if that's just because I'm a parent and I'm supposed to, like, your kids will wake you up sometimes, so maybe I'm just used to that. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. That's a lot of good information about your sleep, and I mean, if I didn't get enough sleep, I know I would be cranky, tired, not at my best. I mean, yeah. So that's one element that leads me to think that you might have some symptoms of depression. A lot of times with people who have depression, they notice a change in their sleep, either too much sleep, they get hours and hours on end of sleep, or they don't get enough, and that's because of a change in mood, and it just is one of the elements. Yeah. So also, you said that you're not feeling the same.
Yeah.
Can you explore that with me a little bit more?
I just, well, I think my grandma noticed it too recently. Which, she said it in kind of a mean way, but she just
rude way. Sorry.
Mean, yeah. Okay. And she's just very blunt about things, and but she just said that I was kind of sad, and that like growing up I was a pretty like happy kid. She took care of me, so she knows that, and like I would always go out with friends, and like even right before I moved out when I was in high school, I was always with friends and doing things. And I just told her I was, I have to be at home with Aiden, like that's just what my life is. But she just noticed that I was feeling sad and sort of depressed. And yeah, and I think that's because of all the things that have happened. Having to move back in, breaking up with Joey, not feeling good about that breakup. Like, I think he cheated on me, so like that just left me feeling really sad. So yeah, I guess just not feeling myself in that way. That I am generally a pretty happy person and like to be around people and my friends, and I just don't really do that anymore.
Yeah. That must be really difficult. Yeah, that makes sense why you wouldn't feel the same if you don't feel like going out. You feel sad. You're going through a breakup. Yeah, that's really normal that you would be feeling those things.
Yeah, I've been through breakups before, and it was hard, but this was just different, I guess.
Yeah. What do you, I guess, based on your feelings, what's different about this one?
Well, I think just like the circumstances made it harder, because I like lived with Joy. Like I never lived with anyone before, and so like I lived with him. I thought we would be together for a really long time. Like we had a son together, and so yeah, I thought maybe we'd get married. I didn't know when, and we're young, so I didn't really think like now, but in the future. And so I think it just made it a lot more difficult when I found out that he was cheating on me. So I think that's why like that breakup was a lot harder than like anything else.
Yeah. It was harder because you had that expectation for the future. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, like you said before, he's the father to your son. It must be really difficult.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, hearing all the things that you're saying, your grandma even noticed that you've been feeling different. That says a lot. That she noticed a change in your personality. Yeah. So just talking with you through these things, what do you think would it take for you to get back to the happy, normal self that you were before?
I don't know, maybe like making myself do some things that I like to do, because I think, I don't know, maybe sometimes if I do think like if I go out with my friends, I enjoy it. It's just always hard to like get to that point where you go out. But that would also involve a lot of things, because I just feel guilty about leaving Aiden at home, and so that would maybe have to change too. I don't know. I think if I were able to leave Aiden with Joey, like if he could go with his dad instead of always being with my grandma, that might make it easier too.
Yeah, that would make it easier on you. Okay. So, what else could you do?
Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I like to go for walks sometimes. I used to do that more, and I could maybe do that like after work.
Yeah.
Because the morning's really early. But Aiden likes to go outside, and so and we usually stay inside when I come home, but I feel like we could probably go outside. I used to really like going outside, and Aiden really does, and he has like a little bike, so when there's no snow, he can do that, or when there's snow, he can play in the snow. So it might be fun, I think, for us to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Going for a walk would be good for you and him, and it would help you get fresh air. That always feels great. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I'm writing these things down, so at the end of the session, I can give you just the goals that you said you want to work towards.
Okay.
Yeah. So you said you can make yourself do things. Can we talk about what that would look like?
Well, my coworkers like probably go out 2 or 3 nights a week, and they always ask me to go. And I used to go like maybe once or twice, but now I just haven't gone in like the last 2 or 3 months, I guess. So maybe if I decided to do like one night a week, and maybe they tend to go like the same nights.
Yeah.
Like I think they go on Mondays, and I know they go on Fridays, but I think they go on Mondays. Maybe Mondays and Fridays they just go, and maybe another time like if something happens. But I could maybe pick one of those days.
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
a great idea.
And maybe just go for like a little bit, especially at first. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're out for a really long time. They usually go out for dinner and then like maybe some drinks, and they usually go to like 2 different places. So I could maybe do that, and maybe just dinner, or just drinks, just so that I'm not like leaving Aiden. It could be after he goes to bed too.
That's true.
So I don't have to feel bad about like leaving him.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really thinking about this possibility, which is great.
Yeah, I think it would make me feel better to be with friends, even though it's hard for me to want to do that sometimes, but I think it would.
Yeah, it might be hard for you to do it at first, but I think it was a great idea if you just start even one night a week, one of the activities that they do. So say you choose Monday and you choose just dinner. So at one time you choose dinner, you make yourself go. It might be really hard, but after you do the dinner, you might feel really good. And then 2 weeks from then, you can decide, okay, I'll do Monday dinner and drinks, and maybe you'll feel even better with like the connection with your coworkers.
Yeah, because I really like talking to my coworkers, but we just can't always talk at work because we're all busy doing our own things, and we don't always have the same lunch break. So I think it would be nice to see them, and maybe they could talk to me too about like what to do or help. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds, even you said before, you have great support with your coworkers.
Yeah, they're really great.
So going out with him will feel good, and being able to talk about what you're going through will also be, I think, a good thing for you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Good. And then, so that goal, we kind of walked through that. So with making yourself do things, the first step for that would just be deciding what day you would go out with your coworkers, and then actually going out with your coworkers, and just making those 2 small steps would really be a big step for you.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because I just haven't done that in a long time. So, but yeah, I think that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's really great, and it's good that you want to do it, and I think that's even one small step, but one giant step towards doing something for yourself. Yeah. So then, what would going for a walk look like?
I don't know if I could do it every day after work. That might be a lot, but if we maybe picked a couple days, yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah, let's start with 2 days a week.
Okay.
Because if you're going out 1 day a week, I mean, that would be a good number.
I'm just wondering if maybe trying.
So 2 days per week.
And I could do that. I usually get home around 4:30, and we eat dinner like at 6 or 6:30, so we have time to go out. And usually Aiden wakes up from his nap around just before I get home, so he's usually ready to play. And a lot of times he just sits in front of the TV or like play by himself, or I'll play with him if I'm like busy with something else. So I think it would be good, for both of us to walk outside or just like play outside, or even for like a half hour. I think.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It sounds like walking is really helpful for you. Yeah.
I used to walk a lot before Aiden was born, so I think it would be fun, even if I just like put him in a stroller, or if he were to walk with me, or he has like a little tricycle or something. So I think that would be nice.
Yeah. You can have fun while you're helping yourself too.
Yeah.
And exercise in general is a great coping exercise. It gets your mind going. You can try to release those thoughts that you're having right before bed, like during the walk, or even just spending time with Aiden.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things, like, I would feel guilty if I went by myself, just because I'm at work all day and then I come home and then, like, leave. So I think it would be nice to do something with him.
Yeah, spend that time together.
Yeah, and to have it just with him, because, I mean, otherwise, like, I'm inside the house, and my grandmother's usually there, and, so I just don't want to have her be around all the time. Yes, because she usually is there. Like, she doesn't leave the house very often. And so Aiden doesn't really play outside much during the day because my grandma doesn't like to go outside, especially when it's cold. So I think it would be good for him to get out too.
Yeah, definitely. So what are your thoughts as we're talking through these goals for you?
I think they'll be good. Like, I'm excited about doing some of these things. Because there were things that I used to do, and I was doing well before, and so maybe this would help me. And that way I don't have to choose between, like, me and Aiden, because that's hard for me to make that choice. Like, I usually, will choose him or what he wants to do, and so it'd be nice to feel better, but then also, like, do it with him, I guess.
Yeah, so you wouldn't feel guilty about spending time on your own, or leaving him with your grandma. It's something that you can do together. Like, yeah, it's great. And really makes me feel like great that you're excited about these changes and excited to do things that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be good. I mean, obviously won't fix all of my relationship problems,
Yeah.
but maybe I'll be able to talk to them about stuff, or I don't know. Maybe I'll just start like feeling better about where I am and like what we're doing right now, and because I mean I can't really move out. I don't have the money for it, and so maybe like the longer we're there, the more I can save, the more you know we could move out soon.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you've been thinking a lot about moving out, and that's something you really want to do. But even making these small steps, even though, like you said, you're not able to move out at this minute, but even if you can do your goals of going out with your friends or going on walks, it would help you feel better with the current situation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, I can't change where I am right now. Like, it's just not feasible. So, I guess I might as well feel good about it, you know, or at least feel better myself.
Yeah. And I don't want you to feel like it will never change, because then you're gonna feel stuck like you were before, and I don't think that's a healthy place to be, to feel stuck. Like just even the feeling of that, I know it doesn't make you feel great. So, but even hopefully with doing these things, it will make you feel a little bit unstuck.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. So before I jump into the CBT like we talked about before, are there any other things that you would like to address?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if there is, we can definitely talk about it and we can save this for another time.
No, I don't think so. I think it's good for now.
Okay, awesome. That's great. So I'm going to talk about this, like explain it a little bit for you so it actually makes sense. So this is a picture of a person.
Okay.
And then we would talk about a precipitating event. So that could be anything like, my grandma told me I couldn't go see Joey. I couldn't spend enough time with Aiden. And then with that precipitating event, you would then write down the thoughts that makes you, the thoughts you have along with that. So if it's, my grandma didn't let me see Joey, it could be I felt angry, mad, stupid, stuck, anything. I don't know what you're feeling, but you get to do this. And then with those thoughts, you write down the feelings that you're having with that. So with the feelings, you can write those, like smiley face, sad face, within the heart. And then you can also, if you want, write down the percentage of those. So if you're 80% happy and 20% sad with those, you can write that. And then body sensations. So with those thoughts and feelings, you can then draw what your body feels. So like if you're, sometimes I clench my fist, sometimes I get stress in my neck, other times I get a headache, or if you feel like you need to kick something, you can draw that on the body. Yeah, and then after that, you write the behaviors. So what do these thoughts and feelings, how do they make you behave? So